the guest can't be heard during the first few minutes of this live stream. Right, starting to go live. That is us on the air. Finally we made it. We are live. It sounds like us. Could be two other, yeah, just an hour, like not too bad. Just a full hour late. Right, let's start this. This is Blackpill View, Season 1, Episode 1. Yep, it's actually happening. This is your official Critical Looks Theory podcast. Yeah, the Chads owe us reparations. I'm Face, and we're back. We're back. I can't believe it. So, let's get some obvious things out of the way. Number one, I've been away, and now I'm back. Is that too vague? What else? Number two, there are going to be a few changes around here. I'm late in LMS. Yep. The changes to this show, I'm not going to go into too much depth about. I want you to like see them happening rather than me pretending that they're working. So anyway, one of the changes is the name, a new name, Blackpill View. Okay. We're starting afresh. The show is going to be shorter than usual. All right. Let me go back to this. The show is going to be shorter than usual. From now on, I know I've said that so many times. I know I've cried wolf. So many times, but this, like, is going to happen, and you're going to be like, what the hell? How? But, yeah, my plan is to make this show shorter. You know, the guest I have sometimes Pygmy. Direct question to you, Waffles. Yeah. I want this show to be shorter than him. Okay. So this show is going to be under 2 hours. Okay. So all I need from you guys listening is maximum two of your Earth hours, and hopefully we can entertain, educate, and then, go to our lonely beds. What else? Point number 3. Since this episode and this show from now on will be shared on different platforms, some of which won't have the visuals, I'm going to be overly descriptive of what you see on screen. So if you see me like describing a video like too much, it's because some people might be listening to this in the gym. Some people might be listening to this on Spotify or something. So that's the plan. Yeah, and since some people will be, someone said 3 hours, yeah, probably, you know how I go. Right, what was I going to say? 2 hours starting from when I actually began. We can't hear Waffles Face. They can't hear you. All right, that's okay. That's an issue. I can hear you. No, they can't hear you. All right. So how do I share my audio such that you can be heard? Oh, I knew there'd be something. There's always something. Let me try. Oh, if I change something, who knows what will happen? All right, you might have to desktop audio. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. All right, speak a bit.
Hello. Wheat Waffles speaking right now.
Right, yeah, I think you can be heard now. I saw things moving. Right. So can we have to wait for them to
the chat should update in a second. They should be able to tell us if they can hear me or not.
Yeah.
I see some person said, "Here we go."
Yeah. I'll get to the super chat soon. It's over for muted cells. Have an abundance mindset. We can hear you. Okay, they can hear you now. All right. It sounds like
yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, I can see.
Now we can hear him. Thank you,
they can hear me.
CT. What else are going to... yeah. So basically, since this show will be on different platforms, some platforms will be new to the Blackpill. So I'm going to take like a few minutes, not too long, a few minutes to outline the Blackpill, what it describes. And we might revisit over the course of this show, not this episode, but this show, we might revisit some definitions and some content here and there, just so can hear him loud and clear. Thank you. We might revisit some topics. Number 4.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
Number 4. Thank you. Number 4. I have a new faster internet connection. Hooray! No, wrong button. Hooray! But it's quite temperamental, so it might just cut out. The stream might just go dead. So, fingers crossed. If you want to listen to the show, fingers crossed that it doesn't do that. And number 5, finally, I'm sorry about the short notice for the stream. I was trying to get things ready. A lot has been going on, and if you're here, you made it. Great, thanks. You didn't have anything better to do. I mean, it's not like you have a girl to crawl up into bed with and feel validated and loved. So thanks for paying attention. Thanks for jumping on to this stream. Let's actually talk about you for a second. We have a guest. It's Wheat Waffles. Hello, Wheat Waffles.
Hello. Thanks for having me on this stream. I love your content.
Thank you. So yeah, we're going to be delving into a bit about why you decided to make a Blackpill channel. Sounds like you're not depressed. Good for you. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing to start off with that I'm not a... Wait, quick, I'll go to the... Well, I'm not a sub 5. I am like a normie, so that's just to give a good bit of context.
Okay. Right, so let's just open with... shall we talk about... I think we should discuss quickly overview what the pill paradigms are, and then we can get into where you come into this situation. So let's swap to here. Okay, manosphere pill paradigm. Let's go over this really quickly. And this thing is behind. Let's do that. There you go. I'm a technical wizard. So manosphere pill paradigm. So basically, the manosphere views describes one's outlook on life, dating, success, women, and behavior in terms of different pills. So you've got blue pill, which is utopian and righteous. It's the idea of just being yourself and let a woman see you're a good guy, and like it will naturally, things will just happen because good things are supposed to happen. It's that kind of mentality. It's a utopian view of life that good is bound to happen. If you can't attract a woman, they blue pillars will say be her friend throughout the good-looking chads and bad boys who pump and dump her, and then one day she'll see you're the right guy. She'll see that you're a good guy. The blue pillars will advocate for listening to a woman's needs. They would say, hey, buy her stuff to ingratiate yourself to her, compliment her to build her attraction towards you. All right, so that's a blue pill out of the way. Red pill is behavioral determinism. So it's the idea that your behavior is in between you and success. So such red pill concepts are act alpha, act dominant, that will attract a woman. Your behavior determines what women find attractive, or women finding you attractive. Such red pill sub-communities, you would say, are like the pickup artists, the pickup art community, men going their own way. The red
I would
pill
say
community...
MGTOW is slightly on that grey area between red pill and black pill.
Correct.
But obviously it does have some beliefs that obviously align with the red pill but I would say
Exactly.
it's like close to the
Yeah,
So it's somewhere in between.
I totally agree. Yeah, the red pill broadly, largely, is like an inroad into the black pill, or it's like on the journey to the black pill. So the red pillars are aware of female nature's flaws. So, for instance, one flaw of female nature that springs to mind is hypergamy. So women want to date up, but in the red pill, they believe that women want to date up in money and status. They overemphasize the importance of money and status. They believe in soft looks maxing, such as gym and styling your hair, wearing stylish clothes. They think that will make you attractive, plus your behavior. So the red pill is the idea that women aren't attracted to weak, brown-nosing, suck-up behavior, but instead to alphaness, masculinity, dominance, which does have some validity. Like, it's kind of right that they prefer masculinity. I mean, it stands to reason. It makes sense. They prefer masculinity over like a blue-pilled man who buys her gifts and simps for her, right? But the alphaness needed to attract a woman and keep a woman is minimal compared to what red pillars believe. The red pillars, because red pillars don't believe that physicality is that important. They overemphasize the need for attracting women through displays of alpha behavior. They overemphasize it. Red pillars believe that a lot of the heavy lifting work in attracting a woman is done through behavior. And then lastly, the truth, the reality, the truth that people are men, especially men in the lower echelons of dating. Wow, dude, I'm gonna get to that super chat soon. I'm gonna get
pounds.
Shoot, I'm gonna get to that soon. Straight after this. What was I gonna say? Yeah, black pill. Let's just move on to the black pill. The black pill builds on the red pill, but with some slight differences. The black pill is genetic determinism. It's the idea that your genetics determine a lot of your success, your attractiveness to women, that kind of thing. These traits are usually inborn traits, but they can be traits that are meant to look inborn. Say, for instance, if you get surgery, it looks natural. It looks like you were born with that. You say like you have jaw surgery to make your jaw look more masculine. That would be under the banner of the black pill, even though it's not an inborn trait, but because the surgery is made to look like it was an inborn trait. So it's genetic determinism, or traits that are meant to look as if they were genetic. What else is there?
I agree.
It's about enhancing your looks, and it has a strong focus on your face. The black pill has a strong focus on improving your looks above the neck, whereas the red pill is more about gym and just general style. It's hard looks maxing. It's cosmetic surgery. It's invasive surgery to get the look that women want. What else? The black pill is bittersweet because it can. There are some good and bad sides to the black pill. That, for instance, it can stop you wasting time approaching women if you're ugly. Like it states that, hey, you need a good face if you're going to approach a woman. So it can stop you from wasting time. But also, if you're not going to get surgery, it can induce you to give up, and it's bittersweet. Okay, so but it can be good, it can be bad. What else was I going to say? Yeah, it does imply biology. We missed you. Thank you, Hannah. The black pill does imply biology because women are attracted to traits that can be passed on to offspring, and that have a biological advantage to future offspring. So, for instance, tall height. If a woman dates a man who's tall, her offspring is likely to be tall. It's more masculine. You're fully grown. It implies that you're it's a sensually dimorphic trait, being tall as a man. But then something like blue eyes. Why would a woman be attracted to blue eyes? Why is that included in? Why is that an attractive trait? Well, that doesn't have any actual benefit, like, other than looking good. But it looks good. It looks good. I partially
disagree with that.
Really? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So I have heard an argument before that your eye color can be relatively beneficial, like based on where you live. And I'm not 100% sure on this, but I just remember hearing like some argument that if you have blue eyes, then that's more accustomed to like northern and colder climates, and that's like better suited to adjusting to the sunlight or something like that. It's along those lines. I'm not 100% sure on it, but I was just gonna throw that in.
Yeah, that could be. That could be true. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that, but that would make sense. Then it actually does have a biological advantage other than just looking good. So then again, there again, more proof that the black pill is about physical traits that can be passed on, that has some benefit to offspring. Well, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, you'll notice that the black pill and the red pill are kind of the two opposing pills. The blue pill isn't really a thing. The blue pill isn't really a community. The blue pill members, it's more of a meme. Blue pillers aren't aware that they're blue pill, whereas red pillers are usually aware that their opinions, their views are red pill paradigm beliefs. Black pillars are aware that their beliefs are slightly black pill. So it's mainly the red pill and the black pill. But
I agree with that. However, I would just adding on to that, I would say that the blue pill is still the most mainstream ideology in 2021. So if you look at the mainstream media, like the biggest media companies, Disney, or even if you just go to the street and you ask people ideas about attraction, and especially for men, they will say, oh yeah, you just need to be yourself. Like if you ask women, what would you find good traits in a guy, they will tell you something like, oh yeah, we just want somebody who can look after us, treat us correctly, knows how we want to be treated, and so on and so forth. So very much blue-pilled ideas. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. The funny thing about the black pill is that it's the hardest to convince people of. It's hard to convince men that women are attracted to looks, and there is very little you can do to attract a woman outside of being attractive. Yet those same men would be angry at you for following the black pill. They don't believe in it, but they would be angry at you for following the black pill and, say, getting cosmetic surgery versus gym. And the idea is that I think most men are blue/red pilled. They're okay with you improving your looks as long as it takes work, as long as it takes effort and struggle, and is gym, for instance. They're okay with that because it's a slow linear growth, and it's not seen as cheating your genetics. Whereas if you get jaw surgery and your jaw is suddenly masculine, you look your face is 2-3 points up, in an ideal situation, your face is 3 points above what it used to be. It feels to them like you're cheating your genetics. There is this aversion to men ascending and not following the path that they were supposed to. Have you ever found that? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that too. not on like a huge amount of occasions, but I know on like a couple of times when I've spoken about surgery with other people, like it's almost immediately shot down, and they won't necessarily bring up arguments of like it being you're cheating your genetics. However, like they will still shoot it down. And the main arguments I found that they bring up is like it could get bodged up, like it could go wrong. That like you shouldn't get it. Like it's just, and then they sometimes might lead on to other arguments like I was like you're trying to be someone you're not. Like I've heard that phrase quite a few times, trying to be someone you're not, which you could argue is down the lines of cheating your genetics.
Yeah, exactly. To them, lifting isn't trying to be someone you're not, but yeah. So it's, exactly. You could see the
or losing a considerable amount of weight.
I think people are okay with losing weight as long as it involves.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like those people are venerated, aren't they?
Oh yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. All right. So we're on the same page here. Okay. So let's learn a little bit more about you. So okay. So So the black pill entails hard looks maxing, cosmetic surgery, and invasive surgery. Members of the black pill, or people who believe in the black pill, are in celibates. I'm not going to say their full name, involuntary celibates, and black pillars. You don't have to be an incelibate to believe in the black pill. Like, it's a broad community and it's ever growing because of the way dating is going. All right, so that was a quick overview. So for those who don't know what it is, right. So it is Wheat Waffles. Thanks for coming onto the show. Like, I really do appreciate you coming on at short notice. You have a new Blackpill channel, right?
Yes.
So there are Blackpillers like me, INCEL TV, and a bunch of others.
I think just call him ITV.
ITV, yeah, okay. I don't want people in the UK to get confused because there is a channel called ITV in the UK. And then there is New Age Black Pillars. So they kind of align somewhat with the Black Pill, but they have like certain beliefs that are quite radical and quite different from the mainstream Black Pill. So would you describe yourself as a Black pillar who believes in, let's for instance say something like just be white theory? Not as in just, I know the name is a bit provocative. It's not just be white, you could get a girlfriend. I mean that you're slightly more advantaged if you're white versus if you're like an Indian or something. Would you say? Yeah,
I agree with that. I've seen the studies, like one particular data sample that stood out to me. Have you ever seen that study done? Well, it wasn't a study, but like some guy just did an experiment where he took two guys. Well, they were the exact same person, but one of them had slightly darker skin.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
He put their pictures up on Tinder, and then the dark-skinned guy got, I think it was half as many, or less than half as many matches as the lighter-skinned guy.
Brutal. But yeah, that's what we're used to, and that's why I'm surprised that people can come into the Black Pill community, but deny certain like not mainstream, but core tenets of the Black Pill, like just be white. And I know the name is provocative, but you know, we know what it actually means. It just means that if you're white, you're slightly more advantaged in dating. So what was I going to say? Yeah, the New Age Black Pillars in the community, they are bringing in some new perspectives, and that's good for stopping this community being a circle jerk. But there are certain things that they're kind of changing or trying to change within the community. For instance, the New Age Black Pillars are far more believing that there is a dichotomy, sub 8 versus 8+. Do you acknowledge, I think you do, I think I saw one of your videos where you do acknowledge that there are, broadly speaking, 3 categories of men. You've got the sub 5 men, like manlets, or people with crippling autism. Then you have the normies in the middle, like they're kind of normie to average to high tier normie, like low tier Chad lights. They get something, they get fat women, they get inconsistent lays. And then you have the high tier Chad lights and Chads in the final upper echelons. Do you kind of agree that there is like a three-pronged?
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
so
I don't agree with the like 2-tier system.
Exactly.
Like, I think so obviously, like, it goes without saying that there is a huge disparity between Chads and the normie tier.
Yes,
but then
yeah,
there is
definitely.
also like a massive disparity between the normie tier and the sub 5 tier. Like, they are living on two completely different worlds.
Exactly. Now, broadly speaking, you can say there are situations where it is sub 8 versus 8. Let's say like online dating, that kind of thing.
Online is 2 tiers. Online is 2 tiers.
Yeah. But the new age black pillars are trying to push the incelibate Chad dichotomy, whereas you see it as 3 categories of men. So yeah, you're kind of like a regular black pillar, like myself, incel, ITV. So yeah, that's cool. All right, so I just wanted to get to know where you come from. Yeah, I think the reduce having the outlook that it's just a question of incelibates versus Chads is reductive and is ignorant of the experiences that sub 5s have. We're not just because you're sub 8 doesn't mean you have the same experiences as a sub 5. If you're a 6 out of 10, your experiences are like 180 degrees different from like a 3. Okay, you don't live like a Chad, but you don't live like a 3 either if you're a 6.
Yeah, completely agree. And just adding on to that, like, I think in one of my videos, it was the one about coping. Like, I actually called out the so-called normie cells, like on like put it. How do I phrase it? Like going all in on the black pill and like pretty much saying, the good old words, "It's over." Like, I actually called them out on that and said that is a bit of a cope, because the truth is, like, for the vast majority of normies, like, if they did put the work in, like, as much as it pains me to say it, like, if they did put the work in, then there is a serious chance of them like ascending. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. By no means, like, are they going to have the same ride as the Chads of the world, but normies, like, there's just way too many examples out there in the real world where you can see like average guys, like normies, high tier normies, in relationships with girls. So I would like throw that out there, but that you almost never see that with sub 5s.
Exactly. All right, let's switch things up with a video to get us to watch, basically. So this video, women on being seen with an unattractive man. This is brutal. I hope the audience can hear this. Face, you better. You sound better. I sound better. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So let's look at this video. Audience, if you can't hear it, let me know. Right. So that was pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like a huge. That black pill that was like a black pill that went by like a bullet. So what happened?
Yeah,
what are we looking at? So yes, there is
from
a
what
couple.
What are you going to describe?
I'll just describe it quickly. So there are a woman and a man sitting at a table outside somewhere, probably a restaurant. Obviously a restaurant, and she has a piece of paper on the table, and written on the piece of paper, it says "Not my boyfriend" with an arrow pointing to the man. So the man is unattractive. Unattractive. Yeah, shout out to Tails. Guten Tag, who sourced this. Yes, so she doesn't want to. Okay, let me just go back a step. I said in What Attracts Women 2, I think it was, that women are embarrassed to be seen with unattractive men. That's been the case for a long time. Like I said about the new age black pillars, there is this new age black pill idea that women like oofy doofy ugly guys that they can manipulate, that they can control and have they can control and have more value than, so that the ugly oofy doofy man stays in his lane and is grateful. But we don't see that. Women's standards are going up in what they want, what they do require in a man. So this idea that women aren't, and again, this is pushed by people in the black pill community, this oofy doofy theory, that it just doesn't stand up to scrutiny or anything we see in real life. So women feel like it's an insult when an ugly guy thinks he has a chance with her. We know that. We saw that a long time ago in What Attracts Women Too, and we see it in different posts. Yeah, this is a known black pill phenomenon, that women hate being associated with ugly guys because it lowers their value. The idea is that if an ugly guy is, or if, say, for instance, an ugly guy approaches a woman, it signals to that woman that he thinks he has a chance with her, which means he thinks he is on her level, which means he thinks she is unattractive. So that's where that comes from. But now we've gone so far we've moved on from there. Now I hope this isn't where we're headed. But women are now, this may catch on. Women want to telegraph, to signal that if they happen to be with an unattractive man for whatever reason, that it's known that he's not their boyfriend.
What I find unbelievable about that particular clip is how on earth that guy's putting up with it. Like, what's going through his mind? Like, what is he sitting there doing? Like, God forbid, like if he's blue pilling himself, thinking that if he's saying in his mind, oh yeah, it's okay if you put that sign there, like I know you don't like being seen around with me, like it's completely okay. Like if he's saying that in his mind, like just God save him, because like I honestly wouldn't be surprised in 2021, like simping's at all-time highs. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks that's like what he should do, and if he thinks that's going to change anything.
He's probably one of these blue pillars that we spoke about just a second ago, that he thinks that, if I hang around her long enough, she might see that I'm a good guy, and the chads who break her heart and pump and dump her, she'll see that they're not the right ones, I'm the right one. Well,
yeah 100%.
no, let me just make sure it's very clear that's not happening. Hopefully, I don't know if you can see the sign. Maybe like I
can see it. Yeah, it says "not my boyfriend."
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know if he can see the sign. That's the only out I will give him. If he cannot see the sign, maybe she wrote it down and he can't. He's at an angle where he can't see what's written. I can kind of give him like a pass. But if he's sitting there suffering,
I don't think there's any apology, because like. This clearly isn't going to be the first time that they've met up. Like, they clearly know each other, and like he's going to be putting up with this on a daily, and like he's still going through all of it. Like he's still there, like pretending to be her friend and thinking it's going to take him somewhere. Like the last point I'm going to say on this, just adding on, is like if you're in his shoes, if he was blackpilled, then this wouldn't happen.
Oh yes, yeah. He would get up. He wouldn't sit with her. He just knows it's going nowhere. Yeah. This is again why the black pill is bittersweet. It can be a source of negativity and force you to withdraw from trying, but also it can save you from embarrassing situations and trying and not knowing why you're failing. The black pill is a harsh truth. Sometimes a harsh truth is what you need. So I wouldn't say, the black. Oh, you go ahead.
If you was going to finish your point, then go on. But I've got one more thing to say.
Yeah, I'm stupid. You go ahead.
Oh yeah. So like, I was just going to say, like from the outside looking in, it looks so obvious. Like if anyone's watching that, like they can so evidently see the black pills being displayed. But from the inside, And this is why the blue pill is so strong. Like, there's always going to be that hope, that desire, and you're always going to be clinging onto something and that possibility. But from the outside, like, I think anyone with even just an ounce of common sense will be able to see that this is nothing else but laughable and embarrassing, pathetic.
Yeah. Okay, super chat. Yeah, let me get to super chats. Yeah, before we get out. All right, so let me refresh the super chats. Thanks for a reminder. I'm juggling too many things at once.
It's a big donation, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was massive. It is so Emrios, $5. He said, Dylan, you son of a beach, welcome back to this 5-hour stream. Hopefully not 5 hours. Acus for $2 said, hey, black pillars. Bend over for $2 said, talk about the age pill after 30. It's over, boyos. We can get into that after. AMJW, that huge whopping $48.99 Great British pounds, said, on the subject of money maxing, what are your thoughts of Kevin Samuels, if you've heard of him? I've heard a little bit of him here and there. Apparently he's doing like big numbers. Like he's a mini celebrity now, and I guess he's more like a red pillar. I doubt he would be advocating for looks theory and stuff, but he does seem to call women on their BS. I guess he's helping men in some way, so I don't really have a problem with it. I wouldn't put him in the same class as a pickup artist who sells you the lie that you could get attractive women through game. I think he's just trying to make men aware of when a woman's misleading them, when a woman's treating them harshly, and he does make women aware of their own hypergamous nature and their own sense of entitlement. But yeah, I think he's like a standout, like slightly standout guy apart away from the red pill, but still more heavily towards the red pill. What do you have to say, Waffle?
I'm not like hugely familiar with his content, but I just had a quick scroll of his YouTube channel. His titles and I haven't watched the videos, but just like looking from the overall gist of his videos, like from the outside, they look similar to like someone like Darius Ems. So he's not like a full-on pickup artist, but he's still teaching these like somewhat red-pilled, like ever so slightly black-pilled ideas, and maybe a bit of MGTOW like in there as well. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll give credit to him. Like I did check his channel out, like I think a month or two ago. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like I remember him being on like something like 600,000 or 700,000 subs. He's nearly at 1 million now. So
damn.
Yeah, he definitely like has blown up in the last year or so.
Yeah, the red pill will always have more appeal because it sells hope. It sells an easier route to get success and women. So I mean, if you just if you behave right, if you say the right words at the right time, women will be attracted to you. That's what red pill the red pill is selling. So of course it's going to appeal to more people. Whereas the black pill is like, well, if you have a negative canthal tilt, your eyes are like droopy. If you have flat cheekbones, if you have a weak jaw, then you're kind of screwed. I mean, like, who wants to really subscribe to that? I mean, you come to the black pill kind of out of either it being shoved into your face or like a necessity, like because you can't deny it. But the red pill is more like you happily follow the red pill, whereas the black pill you're like, oh man, I guess it's true.
Or you've wasted so much money on red pill pickup artist scams, and you have no choice but to go to the black pill. And
Exactly.
Just adding on the point you said about why the red pill is more popular, like in the idea of selling hope, I think you got to make the point also that like that's true from both a supplier and demand side. So like from the demand side, people are more hopeful, like they want the red pill to be true. They don't want the black pill because that shows that things are in control. Like they are in control of their destiny, and they if they just do all of these things X, Y, Z, then it provides a clear path in how to get a girlfriend or get laid, whatever they want to do. And also from a supply side of things, like if you're a businessman and you're setting up a business model, it makes no sense for trying to have a black pill ideology, because you can't sell anything. Like the truth isn't selling anything.
Yes.
But you can sell these lies, and I'm talking about this in my next video.
100% agree. I've had came to that same conclusion, that there really isn't much to sell. Like I've been called like a grifter before, but what am I selling? Like when I tell someone like your chin is has more recession than the economy in 2008, that's a Red Pill Rebellion reference. When I say like stuff like you're too short, not so much shortness, but if your face is bad, go get this surgery. I don't benefit from that. Like no, I'm not a surgeon, so I'm not selling you anything. I'm giving you an alternative to the life you've been living up to now. Whereas the red pill, you are selling something directly. In fact, isn't it Richard Cooper who's charges, was it $2,000 for a 60-minute consultation? Are you serious?
I've heard ridiculous numbers like that. Yeah.
And people pay for that crap. What? Actually, $2,000.
It's embarrassing.
That just shows like how men want to feel in control. Like it speaks to the male ego, the male sense of being able to control something. The red pill speaks to the male sense of wanting to be in control and being able to control something. So, whereas the black pill is kind of like relinquishing, not hope, but relinquishing control. That's the word I'm looking for. Control.
And
so yeah.
I was just go on. If you was gonna finish your like main point, then I was just gonna add on to something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so just like while I was on the topic, I actually had a question that I was meaning to ask you for a while. So, I think similar to how the red pill. Sorry.
What was your question? My address.
Oh yeah, of course. So similar to how the red pill has kind of been taken over, especially in the last 10 to 15 years, it's been diluted significantly by these so-called pickup artists and dating coaches, selling these lies in these programs. Do you think there is any possibility for that to happen to some degree in the near future with the black pill? Do you think the black pill, if it picks up momentum and it will go a bit more mainstream, then you'll have these surgeons promising life-changing results in terms of men's dating life, and they will be shipping these these black pill ideas and reinforcing that, oh, if you get this surgery then your dating life will be transformed? Do you think there is any possibility of that happening, similar to how the red pill was taken over by these dating coaches?
Yeah, well, you kind of see it with the mewing videos. So I don't know if it would be labeled black pill, but it would be snippets of the black pill repackaged in a more positive way, a less incelibate community related way. So just for instance, mewing videos. I think that would, and I've seen mewing consultations and that kind of thing. So I think you can kind of take bits of the black pill and monetize them, or make them mainstream and acceptable. But I don't think wholesale black pill ideology on a channel. I don't think it would be that monetizable, if that makes sense.
So you know how on YouTube before certain videos you get those ads, those really annoying ads from pickup artists that are oh, this is the Pandora's box to finding the secrets about women. Do you think that will happen with a black pill narrative, that if you just get this surgery, do you think you will ever see ads like that featured before, during, or after YouTube videos?
I think as the incelibate rate goes up, that may actually be a thing, because but then again, like we said, there is to sell something from a black pill perspective. You would have to educate yourself on male aesthetics, and I don't think the red pillars like would put in that effort to transition over to understanding what the mid-face length, ideal length, and ramus length and stuff. I don't think they care that much. I don't think people who are trying to make money out of men's misfortune, I don't think they care enough to be able to be selling them the right thing. I think like they just don't care. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going with the content. So let me just get back to the super chat because I saw one and I don't want to miss it. So it is, damn. So there was a few. So Hayashi Sugihara for $5 says, thank you Face and Wheat for the great content. Sam I am $19 says, appreciate the content Face, keep up the great work, very informative channel, thank you. Lewis Barrow says for $2 411 Pakistanis slay in NYC and LA. Yeah, of course they do. Sam Aponte or Apont for $4 says, my understanding of the red pill is that women do not and cannot can never love men regardless of looks. Also a very harsh reality. Okay, let's get back to this. Where am I? Face, we can hear you lip smacking. Okay, sorry about that. Chad, yeah, all right, so let's have a look at this. All right, so yeah, go back here. Yeah, so hey, this is my boyfriend, well, we can call this. So the idea, again, the kind of theme of this show today, this episode, is that the black pill, to deny the black pill is to deny data, to deny evidence, a growing number or just unsurmountable, unassailable amount of evidence that women themselves are putting out. It's not even a case that men need to discuss this anymore. Women are allowing their nature to be seen, and their nature is being proven. Their nature is as the black pill describes it. So, yeah, when women are presented with attractive guys, so let's just flash back to the video we just saw where the woman wanted to make it clear that she was with an attractive guy, but she wasn't dating him. So conversely now we have the other side of this, where when a woman is presented with an attractive guy, she wants to show it off. So she says, spending a week with my crush, I think he's been starting to like me. Shy face, heart emoji. Right, I had to fade out the music because of copyright. So he's a Chad. Showing him off on, I'm guessing this is TikTok or maybe Instagram. I think it's TikTok. Yeah. Yep. Showing him again. Look at that. Look at the angle of the jaw. Look at the shh. Okay. He's rubbing her leg, and she's just showing off what she can attain to, or what she can attract. She's the best thing that and that's her, by the way. A brown girl with just lusting after a white Chad. Again, subtle. I'm going to call it ethnic stock pill. Ethnic stock is, the R word I'm trying to avoid. So women want to show off their central market value, like by proxy. They want to. It's a display of high social value if a woman can date an attractive guy. So women, even if a woman were to give you like if you were to be like somewhat in the threshold of what a woman finds attractive, she might nowadays, especially Zoomer women, they're going to be thinking, well, I can't show this guy off on TikTok. I can't show this guy off on Instagram. So the culture is making women even more looks hypergamous. A point I wanted to make before I forgot: the black pill is the black pill acknowledges hypergamy, female hypergamy, but it talks more in terms of looks hypergamy, because women have money now. They have OnlyFans, they work. It's not like I guess maybe women can, in older ages, women might settle down, but want to settle down, and their standards may go down a little bit, but women's main focus is looks hypergamy, dating someone with more looks than they have, or a good looking guy. So again, to underline the point, women want to show off their boyfriend. This is again more undeniable realities of the black pill that you kind of would have to have an agenda to deny this stuff now, because women are making it so evident. As sad as it is that women are looks hypergamous and have so many options on Tinder and TikTok and everything, as sad as that is, I'll get to you soon, Tails. As sad as it is, in effect, at least the black pill is becoming undeniable. It's becoming more overt and in your face. How do you think? What do you think, Wheat?
Yeah. I agree with the point that you said about like looks hypergamy, and they're particularly trying to date up in terms of height, face, and ethnicity. And if they can like grab like one or two or three of any of those things, then like the more the better.
Okay, let's go to some super chats. I'm gonna just try and stay on top of them. Right. Yeah, that was one from Tails, Blackpill Clips. Shout out to Tails, a new Blackpill channel. He said, "Hey Wheat, how much money do you make rating inkwells on Fiverr?"
I think so far I've made about £500.
Okay, let me get into this.
I'm not exactly breaking it in, but like I've probably spent about like 50 hours total into like doing that. So like I think that's a fair wage, like £10 an hour for work like that, and I enjoy doing it as well. So
I think there is this idea that you're disingenuous, you're a grifter, you're not a real black pillar if you make any money from spending your time. I mean, you're putting your voice out there. You're kind of half doxing yourself, right?
Yeah.
So
I can't tell if you're playing devil's advocate here or
no.
Like,
yeah.
If you're actually being a serious point, but like the reason that I did like start doing that is because, being honest, like I did have more than a few people who like emailed me asking for ratings, asking for like how they can improve, looks maxing advice, and so on and so forth. Like, and at the start, like fair enough, if it's one or two people, then like I don't mind doing it as like a favor, like a bit of generosity. But like like if I'm like it's my time, like if I'm getting several people like all asking me for these things, and like I think it's reasonable to like ask for like a service, like because at the end of the day, like it's my time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sure like probably get it even worse. Like I'm guessing you get like hundreds
like a lot
of emails, like
exactly. And back to a point I was about to say, you're not less genuine in your belief of the black pill, or you're not you're not a grifter just because you make money from something you believe in, or something you're good at, or something you're your services are required in? Like, for instance, would someone say that you're not a real doctor if you make money from surgery? Like, I don't get why there's this idea that if you discuss Blackpill topics and provide Blackpill content, it should be for free and you should be giving of your time and everything. No, obviously I'm not trying to say, hey, just make Blackpill content and put out any crap and make money. I'm saying that if if people are generous enough to pay you for your wisdom, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, and I've got the last strong point I was going to make on this was that, like, and I made this in the last video that I made, that if I wanted to make money, if my only purpose, like, on YouTube was just so I could set up a business and make money, then quite simply,
why would you do Blackpill?
Red pill,
exactly
dating coaching companies.
Exactly,
like, it's common sense. Like, that's where the real money is. Like, you think how much money they're making. As you said earlier, Richard Cooper, like, charging $2,000 per hour for people's time. It has a much larger audience base. There's a lot more money in it to be made, and it's so much easier to sell those sort of things. Like, you can get repeat business from it. Like, you can just make everything into one big program, just sell that big program. You don't have to like keep attending to people's needs or anything like that. Once you've made the program, it's done. Just keep selling that a bunch of times.
Yeah, I think that was a slightly snipey comment from Tails. I think he was trying to say, I don't know. I don't know if it was snipey or if it was just curiosity, if I'm being possibly
honest. Like, my initial reaction to it was that's just curiosity.
Okay, let's and I'm gonna get called a grifter in a sec, but not yet. Let's move to this. So the Blackpill, undeniable now. That's kind of the theme again of this show, this episode. That the Blackpill is, to deny the Blackpill, it would have to be because it goes against your ideology. I know that it says looks live in the right hand corner. It's supposed to say Blackpill view. Yeah, okay, from the Telegraph. The surprising reason so many young men are single. You might think all young men are swiping their way to easy one-night stands on dating apps, but finding a partner has never been harder. And let me just go to, I think it's from here. This is some woman speaking, I think. Last year, I met a man in his mid-20s who told me that he slept with 50 women but never had a girlfriend. He'd been so hurt by the last ghosting that he'd sent the young lady in question a handwritten letter, which he had me read. In that moment, I feared I'd met a beautiful soul. Well, again, if he's sleeping with 50 women, beautiful soul. Yeah, when women say beautiful soul, you know what they mean. Beautiful face. Who'd end up like all the age-appropriate ring wraiths I'm forced to date if he carried on swiping for much longer. Let me just keep going. Where is it? Okay. Unbelievably handsome young men may know everything about intimacy, but they've never made love. Thanks to swipe culture, they have no intention of holding out for it, so a whole generation have no idea what they're missing out on. To have slept with 50 women may sound like an impressive score, but I was assured this was nothing. His fellow game players were averaging 150. Those who suck at game and might actually treat women better than batting averages and essential trophies aren't destined to play. It's survival of the fittest on dating apps, which means that unparalleled numbers of young men have this. Getting to the point finally, which means that unparalleled numbers of young men have never had intimacy at all, according to a general social survey published by the Washington Post. The share of men under the age of 30 and still VIRGINS, V, we'll call them Vs, stood at 8% in 2008 and had soared past 25% by 2018. Society blames this on adult movies, but adult movies have been around since ancient Rome. It's hookup culture that's new. When I look at the graph we've all seen where 28% of men in the last year
Yeah.
haven't had intimacy. When I look at the graph, I squint and notice how the line wiggles up from a diagonal to vertical, after 2012, when Tinder was unleashed on the unsuspecting world. That's when the world ended for most men. This is an impression. I think
that's the only relevant thing she's said so far.
Yeah. Let me just see if there's anything more. I think, let me just go to this. For most men, online dating is like flying economy class, knowing a bunch of rich guys are popping their corks in business class. But even those you might imagine to be having the time of their lives aren't having as much fun as you'd think. I think there's a mixture of cope and cognitive dissonance in this article, but where is it? Yeah, so I think that's all we need to do. No, I think this guy, Harry Sol Markham, 21. I'm gonna go out on a limb because I haven't read this whole article. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he doesn't do well on social on Tinder. I think I may have bet on the right. Outcome there. Let's have a look at this. Lockdown has accelerated our social isolation, but apps implemented it. No one talks to each other in bars anymore, my friend Laura points out. Pre-COVID, I could go to a bar with 6 girl mates and not one of us would have any guy to talk to. Would not have any guy talk to us because we were there in real life. One bloke looked positively terrified when my friend started a conversation with him. Those of us who live in a pre-app world remember how much harder it used to be to meet a member of the opposite gender, as Harry puts it. Everyone was a human. Everyone was a blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so basically, the point here, men, the reality that men are facing, there are fewer women to go around. There are fewer women who are interested in the broad range of men that these women are honing in on, like above average looking guys. It's to the point where I guess like 5, maybe 10 years ago, this could be denied, and you could say, "Oh, the black pill is just a bunch of people, a bunch of men who failed to put in the work, who want to blame women, who want to sit back and are woman haters." But now the data is on our side. The evidence is on our side. TikTok, Tinder, posts on Reddit, everything is on our side and proving us correct. So yeah, like I said before, now the only reason to deny the black pill is because it causes some cognitive dissonance with your preconceived idea of who has an advantage in dating. If you want to believe, women struggle as well, then you would deny the black pill. But it's hard to deny the black pill with so much evidence in your face. I was just going to
say,
go ahead.
What I found most unbelievable about this article was that, like, halfway through the, I think near the beginning, she brought up that it was the men with good game who were dominating the market. And then further down, she mentioned about Tinder, and so she had and she correctly stated that it was brought up in 2012, and that's when men started struggling with dating. So she had that big piece of black pill evidence, and then somehow led to a red pill conclusion. Because if it's game that is the limiting factor, if you're not getting any matches on Tinder anyway, then how are you even supposed to use game?
Exactly.
Even if it was legit, and even if it was about your game, how are you supposed to use game to your advantage? How are you supposed to leverage yourself if you can't even use your so-called game?
Yeah, you cannot get if you cannot get swiped right, then there is no game to use. There is no platform on which to use game. So yeah, obviously, when the black pill is spoken about in the mainstream, or black pill topics are spoken about in the mainstream, there's going to be some cognitive dissonance and coming to wrong conclusions, even though the data is basically telling them everything they need to know. That doesn't really surprise me, but at least we're on the road to, at least there's something to point to in terms of charts, statistics, articles. At least there's something to point to now. There's one point I wanted to make. How do you think COVID-19 has affected dating? I'm going to give you my quick summary.
Okay, yeah, then I'll answer afterwards.
Yeah. Women, for a whole year now, women have been able to curate which type of men have access to them, which men talk to them, because they filter men out on their phone, on their devices. Left swipe if you're ugly, and so they haven't had to interact too much with unattractive men. In fact, some women haven't been to work. They've been working from home. So like for a good year, they've had this bliss. They've had this, in their eyes, bliss. That they don't have to interact with ugly men. And now, as lockdown lifts, I think that you're going to see like an acceleration of women's standards and black pill phenomena. So you're going to see women's standards even higher. So let's say you go back to a nightclub, 2021, early 2022, after the lockdowns are over. Now, when an ugly guy approaches, like in 2019, before the lockdown, it was an offense. It was an insult. How dare this ugly man come up to me? How dare this man have the gall to be 5'7"? How dare he be weak-chinned? But now it's going to be even more heightened, that they're being thrown back into this world full of ugly men. So the rejections are going to be more. The threshold below which you get rejected is going to be more. It's just going to. I think the lockdown will have accelerated women's standards. How do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. That's the way that I was going to phrase it. That it's just accelerated like the problems that we're seeing right now. And I think over the past year, like how you mentioned at the beginning about sub-8 law, like it's coming more into prominence more recently. Like if I'm being completely honest, like over the course of the last year, like the people advocating for sub-8 law, like they've actually had like a reasonable point, because over the last year, like it pretty much has been sub-8 law. Like cold approach has died a death over the last year. So has warm approach to a significant degree. Like over the last year, like the graph that you see, which shows that 50% of relationships nowadays are formed online.
Oh yes.
And the last data point for that graph was in 2018. So in 2018, it was 50%. I guarantee you, over the last year and 2 years, it's like would have shot up to like 80%, because it's all been online. How many people have formed a relationship from cold approach over the last year? It'll be next to none.
Definitely, yeah, exactly,
For how many months of the last year has it's actually been a criminal offence to approach people on the street? Like you weren't allowed to do it. Like we were under lockdown, so you weren't actually allowed to converse with other people. It was against the law.
Yeah, and more and more laws and I guess social norms are dictating that it's awkward at best, rude at worst, or harassment at worst to approach a woman unsolicited.
Criminalizing at worst.
So everything has been forced online where you have to be good looking. So of course, and then women have the pick of which men get to access them. They're going to pick their best options. So the rise in celibacy is like all of these seemingly disconnected aspects of society are like coming to a head, and the result is what do we see? Like is it 28% of men haven't had intimacy in the last year? That was 2018. Like you said, it's probably higher now. So
before lockdown, over the last year alone, it would have been something like 50 or even 60%. I wouldn't be surprised, because like, what opportunities did people have?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, let's keep moving. Right. From The Atlantic. I'm going to say this in a coded way, why are sensually transmitted sicknesses on the rise if Americans are having less intimacy? The CDC found that reported cases of STSs hit an all-time high in 2017, suggesting that while sensual activity is decreasing in the US, it's getting riskier. So let's just have a quick read of this. On Tuesday, the Centers for Centers for Sickness Control and Prevention announced that reported cases of 3 sensually transmitted sicknesses in the United States had reached an all-time high in 2017. Rates of GON, I'm not going to say the whole word, rates of GON rose by 67%, SIF by 76%, and CLAM by 21%, to a total of 2.3 million cases nationwide. According to the CDC, 2017 surpassed 2016 as the year with the most reported STS cases on record, and marked the 4th year in a row that STSs increased steeply in the US. It might seem logical that higher STS rates would go hand in hand with increased sensual activity, but a flurry of recent research indicates American adults are actually having less intimacy on average than they have in decades. Let me just see if this bit might be pertinent. Often cited data from the biennial. I don't know. Am I really that stupid? I guess I am.
It's difficult to see the word on my screen.
Oh right, okay.
Biennial.
Biennial. Yeah.
I think it's once every 2 years.
Oh yeah.
Or twice a year. One of those.
Either one. And now we've drawn so much attention to it, people will be like, wow, this dude is so low IQ. For example, often cited data from the biennial General Social Survey, for example, indicate that the number of Americans who haven't had intimacy at all in the past year has risen from 18% to 22% over the past 2 decades, while the number of Americans between the ages of 18 and 30 who report having intimacy twice a month or more has declined from almost 3/4 in the early 2000s to 2/3 by 2016, and a study published in the Archives of Sensual Behavior in 2017, authored by a research team led by Jean Twenge, found that American adults were engaging in intimacy 9 fewer times a year on average than they did in the late 1990s. So, if there is less intimacy being had nationwide, how are more people getting STSs? Do you want to take this?
Article? Yeah, I had a look at this article and I had like a few things to like raise about it. So first of all, with the like evidence you just brought up there, like just because less people overall as a percentage are having less intimacy doesn't mean like there's being less intimacy had overall. It just might mean that it's being more concentrated.
Exactly.
So of those 2/3 that are having it now, like they're probably going to having it like a lot more with a lot more like hookups in between like each other, and like and so on. But like a lot of people, if you're in that bottom 33%, then you're being completely left out.
That's exactly the point I was trying to make. That fewer people are having intimacy. Is more concentrated between the chads and the women. Not okay. Maybe we can extend it to chad lights as well. But yeah, there is more. Like I don't think I really need to expand on what you said. You explained it succinctly.
Yeah, I did have two other things as well, like of why the STSs like could be going up even more as well.
Yeah.
So, have you seen that study which said that women are less likely to use protection for better looking guys?
Oh, like I thought I was bringing the black pills to the show. No, I thought I was bringing the black pills. Yeah.
I've still got one more to go as well. So
over. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like I think I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it, but like, have you ever heard of the square cube law?
No.
So like this could be a little bit difficult to explain, but so like if there is a high, like if the same amount of intimacy is being had but is being concentrated in a smaller pool of people, then the STSs will go up more than like say if like so if everyone like in a completely monogamous environment where every single person was like attached to one other person, then like you wouldn't have any spreads of STSs. However, like if it was one man with like 100 different women, then like he's going to spread those STSs. He's going to pick up from some women, and then he's going to spread them to a lot more women. Like so, I think it's kind of like the square cube law being applied there.
Yeah, this basically, you've said it all. Like, if a good-looking guy, we can call him Chad, we can call him what you want. If he has an STS and he sleeps with 50 women, like the previous article said, he's going to spread that around to, the 50 women he sleeps with, versus if this were a more egalitarian, sensual dating market where that one Chad is now only able to sleep with 2 women, and he's sub 5 counterpart is able to sleep with 2 women. So he doesn't have that ability to spread that STS around because he's not. Basically, I don't think I need to expand on it. It kind of makes sense.
With also, like women less likely to wear protection.
Once you tie it in with like everything like that, then I think it's very obvious to see like why the number of people having less intimacy, yet still you're seeing the number of STSs going up. A huge black pill for people. I think this may be known by people, but if you get to sleep with a woman, doesn't matter if she's fat, disgusting, or average, or whatever. If you get to sleep with a woman and she demands a condom, she could be an outlier and be really responsible or something, but chances are she doesn't actually like you. And in fact, if a woman requires you to wear protection, more likely she isn't going to want to sleep with you anyway. Like you shouldn't have made it to that point. So if you get to sleep with a woman, if you're some Chad or something who gets to sleep with a woman, the protection is not a question, because she determines you worthy of that vulnerability of not wearing protection. So if you get told to wear protection, she probably doesn't like you. She might accuse you of snuggle the next day. But moreover than that, if you probably won't get to that point. If you're of the looks to a woman where she would ask you to wear protection, especially in 2021, you probably won't even get to the bedroom anyway. You probably will be rejected before that point. So if a woman is willing to give herself to you without protection, that is like the biggest, most obvious display that she appreciates your genetics, and she finds you worthy of being vulnerable with.
Yeah, I agree.
Okie dokie. Let's see if there's anything more to see. Right.
That was all I had to say about that article.
Yeah, same here. I think we've made the point.
Yeah.
I think we've driven home the point. Exter invented the smartest wallets in the world. Their wallets are easy to use and impossible to lose thanks to their solar-powered tracker card. Rushing out of the house again but can't find your wallet? Just ring it, locate it on a map, or use Siri, Alexa, or Google Home. They've implemented the technology into laptop sleeves, iPhone cases, and many more accessories. You can't find a girlfriend, but you'll always be able to find your Exter wallet. We could take some
when I saw you brought that up, I thought the point you was going to make was something about the tracker feature of the wallet.
No. So anyway, I
thought you were saying that like the government was like gonna lay down the hammer fist and track where all of the people following the Blackpill community are. Like, I didn't know how you was going to do it, but like I didn't know what was going on until you said that.
Right. We have a few minutes for some callers, but while we wait for those callers, let's go back to something I wanted to discuss. So you believe in? No, I think we've covered that. Let's talk about your stats. So, what made you want to? And talk about you. What made you want to discuss the Blackpill on a YouTube channel?
So, a couple of years ago, like, I would say, like, I started my, ideological change, like, sort of journey, like, about 3 years ago. So, I was, like, blue-pilled at the very beginning. And, like, quite obviously, like, very fast, that didn't work out. And I knew that was, like, awful. Like, things went completely down. Like, I knew that it wasn't working at all at that moment in time. And then I kind of, like, went down a bit more the red pill sort of path. So obviously, like, if you type into YouTube like how to get better with girls, you're going to have all of those red pill sort of videos come up. So like I went down that sort of route for like a longer period of time, for about a year and a half or so. Started trying to implement game and like pick up like alpha tactics, strategies, things like that. And I was mostly focusing on the like the behavioral aspect in terms of like trying to be more alpha and using game, things like that. And then I think the turning point leading over to the Blackpill was I found your channel about a year ago, and I saw like a couple of your videos, and then like that kind of like made me realize that was like the turning point for me, because on so many occasions, like the red pill like wasn't able to explain why things happened, like things weren't working out. Like I would do a near like perfect interaction with a woman and not get any like feedback or answers, and it just wouldn't make sense. Like it wasn't able to accurately explain why things didn't work with that particular girl. However, like once I found your channel, then that kind of like completely like explained all of those like mishaps and why things didn't work out.
Exactly.
So then like I started like taking things further like towards the Blackpill. So like I've realized how important looks were, and at that point like I wasn't fully like looks max soft wise. So like even if you're red pilled, like you'll find that the red pill doesn't even really focus on the soft looks maxing part of it really that much. They still mostly talk about game and things like that. If you go onto any red pill channel, most of their topics, like the dating coaches channels, will be about like game and how to talk to women and use alpha strategies. They won't really cover looks that much, like your style, your hair, gym, whatever. They won't really talk about it. But once I found your channel and like a few other Blackpill channels, and I started learning the importance of looks, then I did start like fully soft looks maxing like to the most of the ability. And as I said at the beginning, the very start of the stream, that like I am a normie. I'm 5'10" in height. I am like ethnically white. So obviously like you can tell that like things weren't an issue for me. Like once I was able to soft looks max to the like fullest ability, and and then like just go from there.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, oh, I was going to say something. Hold on. Yeah. What made you feel so strongly enough, though, to make a channel, though? Because believing in it and embracing it is one thing, but what made you want to make a channel?
Well, I kind of like started the channel like just as a random sort of thing. Like I brought out one video. Like I wasn't planning on doing it as a recurring thing. Like I just wanted to just like make one video, see how it turned out. Like if you go to the very start of my channel, the first video I made, like it was so badly made, it took me about an hour tops to like from start to finish. It wasn't edited or anything, so I just chucked out that video. And then like I released that one, and then that got a few views, and then like I kind of built momentum from there. I was like, oh, so people actually have an interest for this sort of thing. And then obviously as that happened, I like started taking a bit more time and care into it. So I started like editing my videos a bit more, like putting more effort into the presentations, things like that. And now I've kind of developed like the channel into like a like fastly moving and growing Blackpill channel.
Okay. Right. I'm going to do some super chats, then we'll take our first caller. Let's go to this. So Blue Cheese No Fleas for £5 said, FACEandLMS. I know plenty of women who struggle to find a man and they're not looking for Chad. Struggle to find a man. I'm not even going to engage with that. I'll do it really quickly.
No, I think that's just like provoking. Like, I honestly don't even know. It just like whenever I see comments like that, I'm just like, is this just a troll? Like, do they just want me to respond, give them a bit of attention for 5 minutes?
Yeah, like there's no comparison. I'm not saying that every single woman can get Chad or every single woman wants Chad. Some women want Chad light. Some women, but there is just no comparison between the struggles that men have, not able to get anything largely, and women who don't like their options. Like any woman can go on Tinder, and I'm not saying Tinder is the best yardstick for getting a long-term relationship, but the value women have, you just see it everywhere. Like on Reddit, a woman posts a picture on Reddit on what's that sub called? Rate Me or
Forever Alone Women.
Forever Alone. Like it's just. I think we'd have to discuss that in a separate topic, because I don't have time to point out how ludicrous that idea is. It's just it's not borne out in reality. Yeah. It's not borne out in reality. I think the most
shocking piece of finish.
It's just not borne out in reality. It's what about women? Women too. Poor. Think of the poor women, and no.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting you there, but
no,
like, I think I was just going to say that the most shocking piece of evidence that like I ever saw for that was that, have you ever heard of the Reddit subreddit, Forever Alone Women?
Oh yeah, oh yes, yeah.
So they actually had to make that a women only subreddit, because so many men were using that Reddit subreddit as a platform for trying to date and interact and talk with women, that they had to shut it down and say that no, it's only women from now on. Like, I just found that unbelievable.
The femcel subreddit, they had to ban men. A similar situation, similar phenomenon. They had to ban men. They made a announcement in their subreddit description that this is not a sub for dating. Don't try to date us. If you want to date us, go to this sub, or something like that. It's just, all right. Obviously, some men were probably trolling them and hateful comments, but for the most part, I'm guessing there were a number of men who just wanted to make a connection with a woman, and you just don't get it the other way around. You don't get women reaching out to men because they have a lack of attention. It just doesn't happen. We spent way too long on that. Time for a kiss. $2 says, have women treated you better because we wear masks now? Okay, let me tell you a story. Right, this is brutal, and then we'll take some calls. I was in a supermarket, right? And I had a big bag with me. This happened this week. I had a big bag with me, and I didn't want to lug it around the supermarket. So I said to this checkout woman, "Can I leave this bag at the checkout while I go walk around?" And she said yes. But she smiled at me. She smiled at me in a lingering way, and I thought it was odd. It was weird. It was new to me. It doesn't happen. She was smiling, and to the point where I turned away to go shop, but then I turned back and she was still like smiling. I was like, wow, I'm this, what is happening? So while walking around the shop, this is how goofy I was. I was walking around the shop. I wasn't like attracted to her, but I was very flattered, right? So I was walking around the shop, and the tall vertical fridges they have in supermarkets.
Oh yeah.
I was looking at my reflection in them, thinking, oh, make sure you don't have food around your mouth. Make sure you all kinds of, make sure the cream isn't too thickly spread on one part of your face. Like, make sure you look kind of decent. And the thought went through my head, maybe have something to say witty when you get to the checkout. Maybe have something to break the ice, just so and I was like second guessing myself. I was like, what should I say? Like, it was just, I was a kind of mess, right? So I get to the checkout. Okay,
But before you get to the punchline, what was the woman like? What were her stats?
She was black, early to mid 20s, too much eyebrow makeup, a lot of lip gloss, not terrible looking. She was okay, I guess, like, yeah. Anyway, I got to the checkout and she looked at me and she said, oh, here we go. She said, has anyone ever told you that you look like Jay-Z?
Oh.
Absolutely over. Absolutely brutal. And
you honestly should have played the Jay-Z card. Like, you should have just been like, oh yeah, I'm Jay-Z in disguise.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that was, she ethered me. She black-pilled me into a black hole in outer space somewhere. That was absolutely brutal. The thing is, though, the thing that made it the worst was that I was blue-pilled enough to think that there was some good about to happen. I think it's not so much that she said, she basically called me ugly. It's not so much that she did that. It's that I was under the impression that, hey, there is a Blackpill anomaly happening. There's an exception. I'm going to be an exception in this one instance. I was kicking myself, not because she called me ugly, but because I allowed myself to be blue-pilled for a second. That was hard to recover from. All right, let's take a call. Let's take Blob. You're on Blackpill View. Unmute yourself, or do I have to do it? You have to do it, Blob. Unmute yourself. I'll try and give him a different. All right. Well, I'll try and if he can't.
He's still muted.
Let me give him this. I'm giving him a different role. It's not working. Let's see if he can do it in the given time. Why is my effects not working? By the way, what is going on?
He's unmuted now.
Okay. Hey, you made it, Blob. You're on Blackpill View. Oh, painful. Mic cell. Hello. Going back. Well done. Let's take Rockstar. You're on Blackpill View. Is it something I'm doing wrong? Let me drag.
No, he was unmuted.
Okay.
He was unmuted.
All right. So let's. Blob is back. Blob, you're on Blackpill View.
Okay, finally. Yes, hold on, let me mute the mic. Mute the stream, and let me just get into it. I do not agree with anything you're just saying right now, man. It's all fucking pseudoscience.
Can you not swear? Hey. Can you not swear, please?
Oh, no swearing? Okay, no worries. Okay, whatever you're doing, whatever you're doing with this Black Pill channel and trying to spread this propaganda that all females think a certain way and they all like a certain, type of male, this cryptozoologist creature you call Chad or whatever, it's all nonsense. It's not backed up by science. It's literally talking out of your,
Right, 95% of Tinder likes go to the
forget about Tinder. Let's talk about real life.
No, you said that all women. You said that women aren't attracted to a certain number of men. You just said that. But how can you explain that 95% of Tinder likes go to the top 50% of men?
Okay, first and foremost, let us make a distinction between what's real life, what's reality, and what's online. We all know that the online world is very exaggerated. There's many exaggerated things online. If you go on YouTube, you see, clickbait thumbnails with like the mouth wide open, the eyes all sparkling, colors everywhere. Real life is not like that. So we have to make a distinction between what reality is and what the internet is. And you guys are clearly not making that distinction.
Did you know that a growing number of relationships are formed online now, and women don't want to be pursued in real life?
That's true, but most women don't go on Tinder for that.
Yeah, but you're saying Tinder isn't the only way.
Tinder is where women get raped. Tinder is where women experience a lot of negativity because they get comments from hundreds of guys saying, "Oh, I want to do this to you. I want to show my thing to you. It's basically a sexual harassment website." And only a few, I would say, a niche community of women actually seem to enjoy being on Tinder and the attention they get from it.
Yeah, social media. Where
bother with this guy?
Yeah, let me just say. I'm going to say quickly.
No. Listen. This is what you guys always do. When you get confronted by some good arguments, you guys get scared and you guys just want to move away.
We're not scared
a guy for an hour on my
No. Listen, wheat waffles or whatever. Listen. Stop being afraid. Have some decent arguments. If you're backing up these arguments with your YouTube channels and whatever, you should also allow another voice to come in and express their opinion. I believe this whole ideology you guys are spreading is just a propaganda that's all consistent of nihilism and basically self-hatred that you guys want to just throw out in this world and brainwash young people to fall into. That's what I wholeheartedly believe.
Right, let me just mute you for a sec. Listen to this. First of all, 2 points. One, you've kind of strawmanned us into believing that all of online interaction between men and women is funneled through Tinder. No, it's TikTok, it's through Instagram. Women meet men. When we say Tinder, it's kind of a euphemism for like just online interactions. And that online is where women have a preference for good-looking men. Well, that's where it's even heightened. It's more exaggerated. What else was there? The idea that I don't get how you could have us present charts that.
That's what I was about to ask.
We have charts. We have data on our side. We have articles that are reluctantly describing the phenomenon that the inceldom is on the rise, and your only refutation of our articles is you don't like what we're saying. So I don't know. Thanks, Blob. I do appreciate your call, but I think we should handle you on a separate stream.
I was going to give him like a good 5-10 seconds to at least have an opportunity to speak his mind. Like if he could at least provide one statistic.
Okay,
or piece of evidence that could back up his claim. Yeah, because he's kind of just went on and just thrown a load of blanket statements. He's not, saying how we're delusional, and he's not backed up any of his points. He just made a load of provocative, antagonistic like come at us really aggressively. Like he's not really done anything.
Yeah.
So I think give him a chance. At least bring up one piece of data, and if he doesn't say a piece of data, then he doesn't have a leg to stand on.
Okay, unmute yourself, Blob. Give us one data point that refutes.
Listen, guys. All right, give me 5 more minutes, and I'll
No,
explain
no,
exactly
no. We don't have 5 minutes.
everything that I'm gonna put in. No.
Give us data,
Hello?
data, evidence.
Point to something.
Listen, you guys just putting me in some trap. All right, let me have
Trap.
5 minutes.
Well, asking
of
you for
dialogue,
evidence is trap.
I'll have 5 minutes of dialogue, and then I'll go. It's
You
either
can't
that or
explain
I'm going.
yourself without evidence. You're gonna have to bring up your evidence sooner or
Yeah,
later.
yeah,
If you don't
but
bring
even
up statistics or
analyzation,
data,
even statistics and analyzation need some time to explain. So
Bring
if
up
you
your
allow me
evidence
5
first.
minutes, just listen to me for 5
Start with your
minutes.
evidence.
All right?
All right.
My guy, just listen to me for 5 minutes, or that's it. I'm going.
Okay.
Because
Bye.
clearly, you guys don't respect me.
Is that a threat?
Yeah, guys, he's going. Oh
No,
no,
man.
God forbid.
Listen. You guys just saying like, "Oh, I need to bring up evidence." All right, let me get to the point then.
Okay.
Let me have 5 minutes. I'll explain my point, and then I'll bring the evidence for it. How about that?
All right.
Okay.
Clock is ticking. Go, please.
Okay. All right. First and foremost, yeah. I believe you guys are some bunch of talented losers. You guys have nothing going in your life. The only thing you guys have going for your life is this art form of this black pill spreading this false nihilistic propaganda, and that's not going to
False,
bring
okay.
you anywhere in life.
Okay, back up the
Literally,
false. Why is
you
it
need to have
false?
talent in this world. You need to have talent in this world. You need to find something you're good at in this world. You need to find some f***ing shit that you're good at. Yeah.
All right, can
Otherwise,
you not
you're
swear, please?
done
Can you
for.
not swear? Can you not swear? Last time, like, can
All
you
right,
not swear?
I'm not swearing, okay? But if you're a loser in life and your only hobby is making these type of videos where you're being racist or I don't know, sexist or whatever, whatever. Like if that's your life, if that's your art form, you're not going anywhere regardless. You know, women don't want that in their life. Women are very aware of their social ranking and of their social standing in life. And if you want to be associated with the opposite sex, you shouldn't be behaving this way, you know.
Oh, because well, women, when women look at me, they can tell I have a YouTube channel.
Okay, FACEandLMS. Let me ask you a question. Are you deformed? Do you have like a massive
Yes,
tumor on one side of your face?
I'm borderline deformed. Borderline.
Okay. So I agree with this point about the black pill. Yeah.
Okay, so you're on side now. We win.
Certain
Yay.
people.
We all
It's
win.
5 minutes up yet.
Exactly.
No. Certain people, yeah. Certain people like you, FACEandLMS, yeah. It's over for you. All right. I'll be honest. Like, if you're like wheelchair bound, if you have like a burned face, if what you're saying is true, yeah, it's to some degree I agree with the black pill. Yeah. But for most guys, and especially most guys in your channel right now, spamming, calling me names and whatever, most of these guys are not ugly like you, Face, and you have to understand it. You have to understand, right, that you're having a bad influence on young people who might not be looking bad, young people who might have social anxiety or are very insecure with their body or whatever, and you're just making this. You're basically driving them to suicide, and that's what your art form is. And I say art form because that's what you spend your life doing. That's your purpose in life, you know.
Okay, Blob, you don't know this, but I get PMs, direct messages from young guys usually who post me a picture of their face and they're like, "Is it over for me?" And they're average looking. I say to them, you know what I say to them? Let me let you guess. What do I say to average looking guys who are like 17, PM me a picture of their face? What do you think I say to them?
It doesn't matter what you say. Your channel.
No,
it
does matter.
Very,
it does matter. It does matter.
What they say. Why doesn't it matter what he says?
Your channel should be removed. You should be held responsible for your channel. If I make a channel right now tomorrow that's called spreading propaganda against Jewish people, etc.
How is this
racism?
Are you joking?
It doesn't
Are you joking?
I can listen. Just hear me out, okay? Let's just say I make a channel tomorrow, and that's about anti-Semitism and stuff like that, and I post videos about it, and then I get comments saying, "Yeah, bro, I'm gonna kill some Jews tomorrow," and then I'll say to them, "Yo, don't do that. Don't kill Jews." You know, I'm still responsible, aren't I? If they're gonna go outside and kill Jews.
Okay, my channel. I talk about
Bro, bro,
Okay, hold up.
you cannot excuse yourself, man. All right, explain yourself.
Listen, I talk about the reality of what women are attracted to. I talk about what an attractive jawline looks like, what attractive eyes look like. I'm going to talk in the next What Attracts Women video about surgery, how you can improve your looks, how am I a negative influence on. And but wait, let me just go back. Let me step back a bit. You didn't answer my question when I said, "What do I say to these young,
bro, if you want me
impressionable
here,
guys?"
if you want me here or not, it depends, man. You can
Listen.
throw me out any moment. I'm I don't care.
All right. Yeah, neither do I. So thanks for your call. That was great. Let's take.
He was trolling.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly
Thank you,
surprised.
Blob. I would love to have you on a separate show. We could, go at it for 2 hours. Not at it in a friendly back and forth, whatever. Let's take Rockstar. You're on Blackpill View. All right, well,
can you hear me, Face?
Hey, we can hear you. Hey, are you a blue pillar as well, or a red pillar?
No, but
What's your audio? Your audio is like my IQ. It's really not working.
Better now.
Is your sensitivity really high?
Yeah.
For Discord.
Oh.
Put it on voice activity. Oh, we're doing a mic check during the show.
Sorry, but.
Okay.
All right.
Quick, because we have to go. Yeah.
Better now?
All right.
I gotta lower.
Go.
Better now?
Yes, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So I think one of the things that never get. First of all, the guy was crazy, but one of the things that never gets talked about, in my opinion, in the community, is status maxing, because that's one of the things where it's almost like makeup for your face in a lot of ways. Because the only time I've seen ugly guys getting laid on the regular is when they actually go to the full status max. And like I mentioned in my name, the one thing that ever worked for me was being in a band. I went from like straight up land whales only to actually getting legitimately good looking women on a fairly regular basis after joining a band. And I'm not like a good looking guy or anything, but
in fact, let me just interject quickly. You see this with DJs. You know how laid with the frequency with which DJs get laid? And they're not like, most DJs aren't good looking. Like a lot of DJs, they should be hiding behind records and not being seen. They look terrible, but they get laid. They get laid because I don't know, the status. So yeah, status is a valid point which we should discuss a bit more, I guess.
And I would say being a DJ is actually hard. What I would advocate guys try is joining a band. Don't start a band. Find one's already playing live, because that's how you actually get girls. You expand your social circle. You will meet women. You will likely get laid, even if you're ugly. I've been in bands with 5'6" guys multiple times who got Stacy's. It was hard. It wasn't easy, but they eventually got them the more we played out, because they were just meeting them and they were seen as good looking to them because they were in the band. So, I mean, it happens. And I think a lot of guys who are really struggling could do this. And you don't actually have to have talent either. You can play bass or play drums, and that's just a little bit of work. It's actually easier than going to the gym. So if you're going to the gym 5 days a week, for a ton of time, it's probably play bass.
Right. It sounds like your motorcycle is leaving without you. So I'm gonna let you go. But thanks, Rockstar. Please don't be a stranger. Okay, I'll drag you back. Let's take Anon. I think Anon was next. Oh wait, no. Let's do some super chats quickly before I fall behind on them.
In all honesty, I didn't think that he was like far off. Like he said that he was I think he said that he was an average-looking guy. So like I could see that the thing that he stated like could have worked for him.
Yeah, exactly. There is like we said before, there's the black pill, or no, I don't think we actually addressed this, but the black pill is cognizant that not every man is at the same level. The red pill has this, it starts on this false notation or false conception that every man can say the right words and have the same level of success. But the black pill, this is another reason why the black pill is so hated, and people are slow or reluctant to want to embrace it, especially men, to embrace it and live by it, because if in the red pill, if you're a 3 out of 10 guy or a 7 out of 10 guy, you say the exact same words. You're supposed to have the exact same outcome, positive results. When in the black pill, if you're a 3 out of 10 and you looks max 1 point, not really going to help. If you're a 7 and you looks max 1 point, it's a completely different outcome. So the black pill emphasizes the inequality that different men along the looks spectrum face, and that's another reason why it's shunned. But yeah, if you're a 5 out of 10, you probably are in that maybe acceptable threshold where adding some status to your 5 out of 10 looks might be helpful. But if you're like a 1, I get people are going to like bring up Mick Jagger and boomer rock and roll artists. I don't think that's so much of a thing anymore. But yeah, you can increase your SMV by status maxing, but it also depends on where your base looks are situated.
Yeah.
Let's do some of the, go ahead.
You haven't really mentioned this yet. Like maybe you should have at the beginning, but like a fundamental belief of the black pill is LMS. And although that the majority of the talk is to do with the L component, like you can't leave out the MS like components too. They're still to be talked on about at least a little bit, even though they won't carry as much weight as the L component.
Exactly. All right. Time for a Kiss for $2 said, are you a fan of Howard Stern? I've listened to some of his shows. He's okay, I guess. I mean, yeah, shock value is kind of entertaining, but I'm not like a fan. Emenic1 for $5 says, forever alone women should be or forever childless, lol. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Working class and paid for $19.99 said nothing, thank you. Black Earth for $5 said, this boyo is not the only one of any women have so many guys in her. What? This boyo is not the only one of any women have so many guys in her DMs. I think I get the overarching point that women have so many options that you're just a number to her unless you have something that gives you like raises your head above the rest of the crowd, and that's probably going to be looks, because she's not going to engage in conversation with you to find out if you're super high. Like women don't care about IQ really, unless it has some benefit to your like status. So women aren't going to engage in conversation with you to find out if your personalities match. They're going to discriminate based on looks first, and then they'll get to you. Okay, let's take Anon. Anon, you're on Blackpill View.
Hi, what's up, people?
Hey, what a terrible mic. This sounds like AM radio.
I am sorry if my mic quality is not the best.
Okay, what's your point?
But can you guys hear me quite well? Or is it okay?
Almost.
Yeah.
Alright, so
great,
I wanted to talk about 2 points that I kind of disagree with. The first I do disagree with, but the second is just that I would like to emphasize.
Yes.
First is how facial attractiveness is in our era just, I would say, driven by Western standards. And my comment about that is, having good-looking facial features nowadays. It's just having good-looking Western facial features.
Okay, do you want me
What
to
I mean by
jump
that
in?
is, no, listen.
Right.
I'm sorry. What I mean is that what indicates good genes is symmetry and all the other things. You know, when a man's face is symmetrical, it indicates good genes. But talking about facial features, ratios are a big deal. And you know, skulls or just we as humans, we adapt to all of our different environments, and we have different races that make our skulls different. Because facial features are just an adaptation to our environments, of our ancestors' environments, so we can function better, if you know what I'm saying. And that leads to a different facial, not attractiveness, but facial features overall.
I can see what he's trying to say.
What I'm
Um,
saying, I think you read my comments, right?
Yeah. So you're trying to say that, like, are you trying to bring up the point that some
Depressed Kermit.
facial features?
No, it's not about facial features. I'm talking about ratios. You can have, let's say you're a mongoloid man. You're a tall, athletic, smart, high IQ, good wide frame man, mongoloid. But your ratio is kind of, you have. I mean, my point is, you have good genes if you're that guy. But
You have what?
in our era, you have
So
good genes. You have good genes. If you
Okay.
understand what I'm trying to say. And
he's saying that it's relative to your environment that you were raised in.
absolutely, yeah. So let's
I
say
guess there is
yeah.
some kind of aspect to that being true. Yeah, and definitely that we don't deny that the culture of today has heightened the emphasis on looks and good-looking men and the
especially
the
Western
need.
men.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
true.
I don't think we're in any denial or any disagreement here.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, you know, you can see a lot of, let's say, not ugly, but not like normie range facial, like, and talking on their facial scale, like they might be a normie, but they might have also great genes. This is why I don't
But
consider facial attractiveness a how to say it. I'm not sure.
you're saying
I
it's
think
like
you get the
relative to
point.
your environment. No, but
Yeah,
irrespective
that's the thing.
of a person's environment and what would be ideal for that man's particular environment, there are always going to be like objective features, like
Of
even
course,
when
man.
you
I'm
take the
not denying the
environment out of
strong
the
show and
equation.
the
So
masculine features. Listen.
no, but I'm not about to
Well,
say that.
yeah,
I'm not saying that.
we both know some facial features are attractive universally, but some others are just an adaptation to the environment, and they might be perceived as unattractive nowadays. While in the culture itself, of the person we're talking, for example, an Asian man or a Mongoloid man, an African man. If you like look at the before the mondialisation, I don't know the word, but before everybody traveled, the world was like before airplanes. I'm trying to get the point, like before the revolution, the capitalist revolution, to travel. Understand what I'm saying? Before everybody could travel to any point, before people, when people lived grouped up together as tribes and stuff. I'm not talking about when people the tribe. I'm not talking about hunter-gatherer times, but more like maybe when we created civilization to like to the modern era. Before, yeah, that's my point.
Okay. I've just about heard that. I would love to get into what you said, but I could barely hear you. Buy a computer
Okay. Man, I'm trying to not
don't
wake my parents up. My parents are close to me, alright? Because you know I don't want to f it up. Oh, I'm sorry. So I'm
don't
very
swear.
sorry. My bad.
I
Holy. Yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to I'm raising my voice. I hope you guys can hear me better. My main point is like Western standards cucks a lot of men for their own tribe. For example, let's say you're an you're an African attractive man. If you go to the African tribes, they have their own standards. Because every culture, every ethnicity has their own standards. Because of facial adaptations, what do they consider attractive and what do they not consider attractive? You get my point. My whole point is just like facial attractiveness. Nowadays, it's just Western standards facial attractiveness, and that does not indicate good genes necessarily.
I'm trying to think of succinct way of answering that.
I get his point.
I get your point.
For example, the nose adaptation for
Yeah.
African for the more heated climate, where you get the wider noses with more width. Ears too, when you can get in colder climates, some some tribes.
I
some
think I get what
ethnicities
you're
tend to have
saying. Yeah,
smaller ears. The teeth, the mouth. This is all like just another adaptation to the environment itself. All this
yeah,
just to tell you guys
yeah.
that my point is facial attractiveness is not does not mean good genes, in my opinion.
Okay, that's something I
You can
need to
be
delve
yeah,
into. I'm not going to tackle that now on like the ending. I don't want to say the DYING word. The last few minutes of this show. I'm not going to try and get into that. That's something I need to
yeah.
delve into.
All right, my second
For
point,
the
if I
start.
can go
Oh my
across it
days!
quickly.
Another point. Are you serious? I think we've heard.
I think I can cover it in a minute. Like,
Oh,
just
a
I
minute.
can cover it in
That's a
three
minute too
words.
long. That's a minute too
Yeah,
long.
yeah. All right,
Anon.
well,
All right, we got to keep on moving. But thanks for your call. Okay, call back again. Don't be
no
a
problem,
stranger.
man. All right.
All right, thank you. Let's take Black Ronin. You're on Blackpill View. Unmute yourself.
He's on mute. He's on mute.
Not on my side unless let me do this.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
You're live.
Hello, are you? Hello, Face.
Hey.
Hello.
Bro, I've been watching your content for a minute, man. I lost this shit is real.
Can you not swear, dude? I'm gonna have to do so much editing now.
Sorry about that, bro. What is America gonna do when they say, let's say by 2030, like 70% of all men are incel?
They're just going to. I think his girlfriend walked in. No, I don't know. Like, you're going to see a rise in. How can I phrase it? Men going AWOL, shall I say? You're going to see a rise in men going AWOL. You're going to see a rise in men not knowing how to.
You mean ER?
Yep. You're going to see a rise in men not knowing how to interpret the dating life that they're experiencing. They're not going to be able. A lot of men won't come to the black pill, but they will be having black pill experiences. So they'll have this cognitive dissonance that, oh, I'm not too ugly. Why is my dating life like this? And then they'll have this awful, terrible dating life, and they won't know how to pause it. And so it will be confusion. It'll be anger. You'll see a lot of men dropping out of society, whether they're black-pilled or not. It's a dystopian future for men. And it's Zoomers, if you're a Zoomer, if you don't have social media...
Yeah, Face, I'm actually a Zoomer.
Good luck.
I'm a Zoomer. I was born in 99.
I can only imagine how difficult it is to attract a woman. It obviously, like we said, attracting a woman has gone online, and if you're online, if you're trying to attract a woman online, like the only acceptable way to do it, not in real life anymore, and you don't have a social media presence. I've seen women reject guys on Tinder because they think the profile is fake, or that they think the profile it just doesn't there's no ability for her to get some background or get information on his background, so they reject the man based on that small point. And so if you don't have like pictures of you surfing, if you don't have pictures of you out with friends, if you don't have your Instagram account linked, then you better get a Steam account and start playing Far Cry 6, because I don't know what you're going to do. So 70% possibly, yeah, that I won't be surprised. But
I don't know if it'll go that high in 10 years.
Yeah. I would say in that 70% of men struggling, you'll have the normies who are like having intimacy with land whales, or get in relationships but they get cheated on, or like it won't be like a clear cut the those who have intimacy and those who don't. There'll be like that gray area, like there is now, but the gray area will probably expand a bit, like maybe, I don't know, it's just a bleak dystopian. Maybe the gray area will be a little less, actually. I don't know, I'm just thinking about it. But Why? What do you think? Give us your view, Black Cronin.
The reason why I brought that up is because I went skateboarding earlier today, right, with a couple of the homies, and we saw 0 height match couples. 0.
But then again, you do have to
height matched.
What do you mean?
In the
What
way
do you
that
mean?
like the man is significantly taller than the woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about like it's got to the point where I've seen dudes with girlfriends where the girl goes up to their thigh.
Yeah. Oh, so you mean it's
their hips are. Yeah.
You mean it's an exaggerated exponential difference. Like there, obviously, I know this is going to hurt manlets, but as a man, you're supposed to be taller than a woman. I know that hurts. I know that. I know that's painful, but you're supposed to be taller than a woman. This dude's moving house.
Yeah, bro. Because the reason why, because I'm 5'9", 5'10", and I'm starting to get height mocked by girls.
Oh, come on. In the US, you're getting height mocked by girls who are what, 5'11"? Are you kidding me? If you said Germany...
Like 6 foot chicks.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not. I'm being dead serious. You got
6 foot.
Yes,
where are these Amazonian
lying,
women? Like, where are these Amazonian giant Nephilim women?
Most of them are either white or like biracial. Most of the time, bro. I'm getting height mocked by chicks out here. It wasn't that bad a year ago. So...
what, you mean they grew in the last year?
No, like they're just getting taller. I'm noticing a lot more taller chicks. Like I'm talking about like 5'11", 6 foot.
6'6".
I wouldn't
So
say
these
that
7
extreme,
foot women. I would like to see some evidence of that. Like if you could.
I'm not lying, dude. You
I'm
got
not
some
saying you're
tall
lying,
girls
but
in America.
But if you could, some discreet filming or something, so I could get an accurate picture of what you're seeing or experiencing, that would be good. Because I'm just like 6 foot women in America. Like if you said the Netherlands, I could be like, okay, maybe this makes some kind of sense. But 6 foot American women, like, and you're getting height mocked to the point where you notice it a lot. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen.
I noticed it when I was on the sub. I noticed it when I was on the subway today when this white girl, she was like about like my shoulders and went up to where her tattoo was.
Where was her tattoo? Where was her tattoo?
Her tattoo was like where her bicep would be.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gone that bad.
Okay, we really need Face wants some creep shots. Yeah, we do. It would be good if you could show us this, because I mean, hearing it sounds bad. So if it happens that much, you should be able to like prove it, right? You should be able to. The only hard part is the filming discreetly, which I could tell you how to do after the show if you want. But yeah, okay. Do you have a final point to leave us on?
Yes, I was gonna ask is is it, how do I explain this? How do I explain this? I feel like when is the mainstream media gonna talk about this? The mainstream media are gonna talk about inceldom.
Well, they're unlike who is it, Blob, who fails to. I don't know if he watched the show. Dude, are you outside? Well, you must be. Or is your head out the window?
No, I live in the hood. I live in the hood, bro. Dirt bikes.
Oh, okay.
And dudes smoking weed outside.
All right.
Just
so
mute him while you make your point.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. Yeah. Blob failed the confrontational caller we had just a while ago. Failed to recognize that the media and mainstream is starting to talk about this. They are releasing data that backs up the black pill. Look at OkCupid, even going back a few years. OkCupid had that study that said 80% of women women declared 80% of men below average attractiveness. And then because we started like using their statistics, they canned that web page, and they memory hold it. So our talking points are going mainstream, but obviously they're not going to agree with us wholesale and say, hey, look, women's standards are just too high, men just can't compete. They're going to misconstrue it in a subconscious what's the word I'm looking for, not on purpose way. So they'll just misconstrue it just by the fact that they don't live this reality, so they're going to misunderstand what we go through. But also they're going to be reluctant to blame the phenomenon on women's standards. So as much as you'll see media acknowledge men having less sensual prowess, and more men being in celibate, the acknowledgement from the mainstream is going to be nuanced and filtered, right? Anyway, Black Ronin, we have to keep it moving.
Yeah. Just quickly, like my take on his question was that whenever you do hear like the mainstream media talk about like inceldom and black pill communities, it's always like in a negative light. So they will treat like them as some like fringe, like far right, alt right community that like is seen in, and they connotate it with like even as far as terrorism or like, you know, they often bring up events such as Elliot Rodger and things like that. So like they often treat them as like some dark outsiders, like part of the dark web who shouldn't really be mingled with.
Let's go with some content back again. Shout out to MGTOW Dictionary. If he says he only has Skype, he needs to get on the Zoomer train MGTOW Dictionary. I can't use Skype right now, so if you can get on Discord, we can hear from you. Right. So yeah, women showing off their boyfriends, and so embedded just be white pill as well, or ethnic stock pill as well. When you're both half white but full white man's paid professionals. 13. Had to turn the music down. So these two women come out of their separate houses. They high five each other. There's this air of having reached
success, veneration.
Having, like I said before, having gained high sensual market value by proxy through having achieved a white male. So there's that, And the thing is, again, this is being shown on TikTok. This is unfiltered. This is women unwittingly dropping black pills. Gone are the days where you actually need men to drop these black pills. I think black pillars like yourself, Waffles, and myself, I guess we can discuss the nuances of these black pills and expand upon them. But these black pills are out there in the wild now, to use a Reddit soy term. These black pills are out there in the wild. They don't need to be shown on some fringe channel, like a fringe YouTube channel. They are out there for the men who are awake to see. All right. Okay. Women are celebrities now. So this woman, who looks really surgically enhanced, her lips are really big. She says, thinking of the time I matched with Ben Affleck on Raya, I don't know what that is, and thought it was fake, so I unmatched him, and he sent me a video message on Instagram, skull emoji.
Waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things. I just wish things would get better.
Again, this is from TikTok. So she thought she matched with Ben Affleck, or she matched with Ben Affleck, and a movie star, and she thought he was fake, so she unmatched him. He said he replied to her,
"Why did you unmatch me?"
So there we have it. Again, speaking to Blob's point about the black pill isn't real. We have I don't know the ins and outs of this. This might be some kind of troll or something, but we have an actual real life movie star replying, making a video response to a normal woman. Riot is the dating app for celebs. Okay, thank you. So what more proof do we have that women's value is so sky high and so out of proportion in regard to men's central market value than the fact that women are being responded to by millionaire celebrities? That's the measure of their value. That a woman who hasn't done anything except probably banged a few chads can get a reply from Ben Affleck. All right, shall I keep going?
Yes.
Me.
Okay, yep. Next, Blackpill. Women find online dating a joke. So this woman says she's on Tinder like, and then she's just swiping through guys, mostly left swiping.
Nope. 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 Nope.
How can she insta left swipe on the group photo?
I think women have so much abundance that they're not willing to. A woman is probably not willing to find out who the owner of the profile is if you've got a group picture that's first. Like I've heard, in fact, advice that a group picture should make it clear who you are, because if a woman just sees a group of men, she doesn't have the patience to go through the rest of your pictures to find out which one you are, because there are like hundreds more where you came from. So whereas if you got a match from a woman and you saw like a group picture, you'd be like, okay, which one is she? Let me swipe the second picture, third picture. A woman's like, well, you had your chance. I gave you like 0.5 seconds of my precious time. So that's the dichotomy between men and women that Blob refuses to acknowledge.
Nope. Mama.
There was at least a Chad light in there.
Yeah,
I saw one.
I'm seeing guys getting left swiped. I'm thinking, what?
Yeah.
If she's left swiping this guy, she would call the police if she saw me.
Chad light.
Yeah, definitely.
Este está más o menos.
She chose the high tea Latino looking guy there. And matched. So yeah, that's the reality of women. Like you swipe up guy, you pick the cream of the crop, the best of the best of the best of the top 1%, and he matched you. So I mean, it's just again, women are dropping these black pills unwittingly. They're just backing up what we're saying, and then. Yeah, so everything is pointing to the black pill being correct. Everything is pointing to the black pill being valid. Denial of the black pill is denial of data, denial of evidence, denial of social trends. Let's keep going with that.
All right.
Okay, last video.
All right.
Oh yeah, Chads and women have harems.
All right, let's address the rotation thing. I'm getting a lot of questions, understandably so.
Okay, here's a quick quiz for you, Waffles. What do you think the rotation is?
I'm guessing it's seeing several men in succession.
Okay.
Intimacy and nothing else. That's just my guess.
Yeah.
Long story short, the rotation fizzled out at the end of 2020. And if you don't know what the rotation was, I used to ethically non-monogamously date like 3 or 4 dudes, maybe even 5 at a time.
Look at her, like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but a woman like this can date as many men as she wants. I'm guessing they're probably good looking as well, because she has that option. She can pick the best of the pool of men who message her. So she's able to date men on rotation. We've effectively moved into women having harems, women with unparalleled sensual market value, whereas men, her male looks equivalent probably gets no matches whatsoever. It's such a unequal dating market. It's go ahead.
Yeah, I was just about to make that point that ITV has said so many times in his videos that if you look at her and then you look at her looks match, like and he makes a joke out of it that person would be a watcher, a stark follower of his channel. Like the difference
exactly,
here's another one. So how many times do you see women like this, overweight women with like at least normal looking men?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
like
it's going to become more. And it's going to become even more.
Sorry, go on.
It's going to become even more prevalent as men grapple to anything, like grasp for anything they can get. So it's.
But they're willing to date down in terms of like fitness and body fat percentage and every single respect.
Men have a higher sensual drive anyway, so we find women who are we find a broader type of woman attractive. Like there are men who like small breasts or chest, a small chest. There are men who like a big chest. There are men who like fat women, men who like tall women, short. Like there are so like the sensual appetite, for want of a better term, that men have is like so broad that women will find hundreds, thousands of guys who want to date them, whereas that woman's own physical looks equivalent is probably watching this show right now. Yeah, like you said.
Yeah. Like for men, there's one type of like guy that women will want to pursue. Like you can pretty much pin down on paper like what the most attractive man will look like. He'll be over 6 foot tall, like around 6'3", 6'4", good face. Like you can pin it down like exactly like what women are going to find attractive. But for men looking at women, they're going to find like lots of body types attractive. Like their height is almost irrelevant. Like men, some men like really short girls, some men prefer taller women, and body fat percentage is literally like not even really an issue for women. Like they're still going to have options. And I was about to make the point that like how many times do you see overweight women with like at least normal looking men? Like you see it all of the time. Like I work in schools, and the one thing I notice every single day, like when kids are being picked up, I will always see some overweight woman strolling a pram, and next to her will be a normal skinny looking man. And I will never see it the other way around. I've never, not once in my life ever, seen a overweight man with a fit woman. Never.
Yeah. I mean, maybe in the past that may have happened when women were, financially dependent on men. You may have seen that in the past somewhat, but today,
no one under 30. Like you sometimes see, like dads who are like 45 years old. They let themselves go. They've been on like beer. They're alcoholics, and they have a big beer belly, and their wife is like still in somewhat like good shape. But you would never see any of that from the like Zoomer age range, which I fall into.
One thing that just occurred to me is when you see a fat man with a average sized woman, it's possible that they're over 30 years old. It's possible that when they met, he was normal sized and he just let himself go. Whereas when you see the reverse, a fat woman with an average sized man, they're probably between 18 and 30, and he met her when she was fat, and he just counted himself lucky to get anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Last point before we go. I wish we could have taken more calls, but that's the way it goes. Yeah. Is there anything you disagree with about the black pill, or that you don't like about the black pill community?
I think that the black pill is often relative to like where your current standing is. Like I've made this point quite a few times before, that like for me personally, like I consider myself like 80-20 in terms of black pill to red pill.
Yeah.
But like for me, like in my position, like I'm average height, average looks. Like I don't need to go as far as you or ITV in the respect that like your sole problem is your looks. Like, and the black pill is solely responsible for like your lack of dating success. But for at least like, but for high tier normies, Chad Lights, like if they're struggling with dating, pretty much anyone who falls into that sub 8 category, like if they're struggling with dating, the black pill is partly responsible, probably in the majority responsible, but also like there could be elements of like red pill in there that they haven't fully like soft max their looks. They haven't done everything that they can do in terms of like hard work and gym maxing, things like that, losing weight, being low body fat percentage. They haven't done any of those things.
Definitely, I would like second that. I'm mostly a black pillar. I would say that I understand. I think I have a healthy approach to the black pill, where I don't think that if you're born ugly, it's definitely over until you've tried, until you have proof that it's over. So and I'm a believer in. Let me just go into the point I wanted to bring up. Something I disagree with a view that's held by, I guess, the majority of black pillars. Right, I run a server. I began to speak about this to Blob, but he didn't want to hear. I run a server, a Discord server, and I talk to people before I let them in. I want to find out, it's an incelibate only server, and I want to find out what makes someone incelibate before I let them in. It's not just a general black pill for anyone kind of server. So people are free to prove they're inceldom to me. They're inceldom to me in any way. They could discuss their dating life, or, lack of. They can show a picture. They can, describe the rejections they've had. Anything. Sorry about this slurping. Yeah. I did that again. When I declare someone not incelibate enough to get into my server, their response isn't, but I'm an incelibate. My face is ugly. Look at my face. This is proof I'm incelibate. I have all these rejections. What the knee-jerk reaction to some men being denied access to my server is, but I built my identity on thinking I'm ugly. So it's a lot of men, not all men in this community, but a lot of men want to be declared incelibate because it means they don't have to try, or that it gives them the validation that they don't have to try. Whereas, like I said before, if you're a sub 5 or a manlet, you're in a different ballpark from if you're like between 5 and 7, and you're not Chad, but you're not ugly. So it's very telling when men react like that when they get rejected from my server. And the last thing I want to say, another thing about the black pill community that I hate, the cognitive dissonance. So you have some incelibates who hate women, right? They say women can't love. I'm not going to get into that. Who knows? They can't love. And then you ask them, so why do you want a woman? And they're like, for intimacy. And then you're like, well, why do you want intimacy if you don't believe women can love? Like, if you believe there's no bond or connection, why do you want a woman? You could get a professional if you don't believe there's no like romance or love. And then they're like, well, because I want the validation. And then you're
that's
like,
a good point because I know what you're saying.
And then you're like, why would you want validation from people you don't like, from women, from people you don't like? And then they're like, well, it's a natural urge. And then you're like, well, wouldn't a professional woman satisfy that urge? And then they're like, no, because I want validation. So you get into this like vicious circle. And they'll say stuff like, oh, I don't want to pay because Chad doesn't have to pay. I think it's important to differentiate between men who in the community who have those feelings and men who are just ugly, just short, and don't hate women. I'm not saying you should suck up to women. I'm not saying be a soy. I'm just saying that I hate that this community is synonymous with woman hating, because it then gives people a stick to beat us with. They say, well, that's why you can't get a woman, because you hate women. And I'm like, well, women declared me ugly before, and I don't hate them. So now what? Right? So those are the two things I hate.
A good point. Yeah. I've got one more that I just thought of.
Okay.
So the last thing that I don't like about this community is that women are often like pointed out and demonized and called up upon, like, for behavior that they would deem like confirming the black pill. So if a woman has in her bio 6 foot only, please, like, and she's confirming the black pill through that, so they're demonized for that. However, black pillers also demonize women when they don't confirm the black pill and they are just virtue signaling. So if a woman tries to blue pill a man, and like they're telling them all of these lies that it's because of his personality, or like these blue pill responses, they just don't like him for who he is, and they tell him, oh, you're going to find someone someday, there's someone out there for you, you're going to make a girl really happy. If they give these blue pill responses, then the black pill community also demonizes that woman for virtue signaling.
Yeah, so any response she gives, any outcome would be like
any response she gives, any response she gives is going to be met with criticism. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get Harry O on. Harry O, I forgot about you. You're on Blackpill View.
They're telling them all of these lies that it's because of his personality. He's got the stream on.
Yeah. And he's going to listen to this. He's about 30 seconds behind. Yeah. Let me get some super chats while we're waiting for him to catch up. Where did we get to? Tails said, for 5 CHF, I want to beta box. If only I knew a smart way to carry cash. That's a reference to Exeter, I'm guessing. I see you, Tails. I see what you're doing there. Yusuf Haslem said, for $5 US. Do the shorter streams mean more frequent streams? Possibly. Well, also, welcome back, dog. Thank you. Harry O, you've got like
hello,
milliseconds. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hey.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay. I just wanted to bring up a point that you haven't talked about too much.
Okay.
But do you think it's accurate to say that women are more attracted to feminine or androgynous looking men than they are to actually masculine looking chads?
I would say maybe younger teen women might be into the baby face kind of Justin Bieber look. Yeah, pretty boys. Yeah, thank you. But as women age, I would say their preference changes. We need you. Thank you, Hod Rodrigo. Their preferences change slightly to more masculine types of men. Now, it's not like they don't go from pretty boys to like WWE wrestler type guys. They don't go that far. The changes aren't that drastic, but it does change slightly in that direction. Why?
Well, I mean, do you think that's just a cope on their part? The fact that they can't attract these younger looking men as they used to before?
You mean older women cope by dating more
Yeah,
masculine men?
like pretty
No,
much.
I don't think it's a cope. I think they genuinely aim for, like, for instance,
Their preferences change.
yeah. For instance, younger kind of like 16, 17-year-old girls, they're more likely to not emphasize height as much as maybe a 20, 25-year-old woman, because I guess like a teen girl is more okay with like a short, not short, okay, let's just say average heighted, good looking guy with, you know, pretty boy features, and I guess she isn't looking in that far into the future in terms of like wanting a man that's that has a significant difference in sensual dimorphism. So she's not thinking, oh, well, by the time I'm 30, we're still going to be height matched. I don't think they don't place that emphasis or awareness in that. So yeah, so younger women will be attracted to like, that's the best time. If you're short, the best time to get, if you're short and good looking, sorry, that's the best time to get a woman, when you're like really young, because there is a slight lesser emphasis on height. It's still important, and obviously being taller will be more attractive, and things are going, you know, the Overton window is moving ever closer to the right, ever closer to taller, better Chad. But just in like raw terms, if you're short and good looking, probably like 15 years old, you're going to have more shot at a woman than if you're 30.
Well, I think it's changing today because of media. You know, like K-pop or even like TikTok, with like a lot of the men on there being very like somewhat like feminine looking. And also, I just want to say that you know, today's like today's women, they can earn their own money, so
Yeah.
they don't necessarily need like a protector and provider, and so they can choose the you know, the pretty looking man. And
Thank
also,
you,
I have
Mom.
a theory that that women are actually like gynophilic, like attracted to femininity.
Women.
And yeah,
gynophilic.
women, like they're, yeah, but the reason they don't act those feelings is due to societal pressure, and also just a lack of men that look like that. And like, you do see some women out going lesbian, but
Yeah.
you know, they have to date a woman, and
Well,
I mean, they're just
yeah,
terrible personality wise. So
you
they
do
want a
see,
man's
yeah.
personality, but like a pretty face.
Yeah, there
Also,
are.
as far as
Isn't this? Wasn't
I'm
there
gonna
like a
finish this
growing?
one, and I'll let you
Okay,
go.
all right, go
But
ahead.
as far as height goes, I mean, if you didn't know, but like a lack of testosterone or a lack of estrogen, just a lack of like hormones, which can lead to like an androgynous appearance in a man. That will give you more height. Like a man that has really high testosterone, if they don't have the genes for it, they'll actually grow up to be, they can grow up to be pretty short.
Look, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I've got to shut this stream down now, so I kind of tuned out halfway. So I'm really sorry about that, but I have to go, Harry-O. Okay?
Okay.
But
Are you
call
gonna
back
do
again.
the? Yeah, I'll just call back in at a later time. I think this
Okay.
is something you've talked about before.
All right, yeah, we could get into that another time. I'll probably provide less content, and we can have more calls. Really apologize, Harry-O. Thank you for your call. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm trying to keep to some sensible time limit, because I know you have to go soon, and I don't want this stream to last as long as it has. So anyway, I think we've crammed as much black pills as we can into the time. Yes, my Stacy girlfriend is waiting for me, and she's getting impatient. So yeah. So is there anything you want to say like last minute before we go, Wheat?
No, I think it's been a overall a good stream. Lots of good content involved. And yeah, it's like overrun a bit, only by like 40 minutes, but not really an issue. I think the audience appreciates it.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks for listening. We're going to be back soon. Apologies for the lateness and blah, blah, blah. Who cares? We are out of here. This was episode 1, season 1. We are gone. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Exter invented the smartest wallets in the world. Their wallets are easy to use and impossible to lose thanks to their solar-powered tracker card. Rushing out of the house again but can't find your wallet? Just ring it, locate it on a map, or use Siri, Alexa, or Google Home. They've implemented the technology into laptop sleeves, iPhone cases, and many more accessories. You can't find a girlfriend, but you'll always be able to find your Exter wallet.